Hey everybody, this is Esports Money's ESM Mech 10, whatever you want to call me, and today, excuse me, we're going to be doing an Anti-Mage jungling guide. Now, I have never really liked Anti-Mage, I've never been his biggest fan, but I've been really hooked on jungling this hero. I've tried to jungle this hero 5 times today. I've won 3 of those games. The 2 times I didn't win, I made some of the most disastrous mistakes ever. But basically the goal of this guide is if you do it perfectly, if you have really good control, you're going to end up, and I mean I can't do this yet, I've seen someone do this, but I saw someone get a 15-minute Battle Fury and a Quelling Blade and a Helm of the Dominator all by 15 minutes. You can also, then you can disassemble the Helm of the Dominator later and get your get a Vlad's, because lifesteal and mana break doesn't stack. Which brings me to a very important point. I'll pause this so I can explain what's going on here. You need to not skill mana break, and after like level 7 or so, sometimes at level 5, just depending on what you want, outside from skilling your ultimate, you need to hold 4 skill points so that you can put them all in mana break as soon as you turn your Helm of the Dominator into the Vlad's later on. But for me, I usually end up between 16. Again, I've done this 5 times. I've done this okay or well about 3 times. And I got my Quelling Blade, Helm of the Dominator, and Battle Fury between 16 and 18 minutes every game. And one game I got it at 17 minutes, but I made a big mistake and actually didn't do anything for the first 90 seconds, 2 minutes of the game. So I was really behind, and it still worked out. So basically, it's really, what we're doing is really exploitive, and you need to be really cautious because you need to watch mana for blink. But basically, you blink up into this area right here, and you cut these trees out. And then you're going to cut these 3 trees as well. And when the creeps spawn down here, you'll be able to hit them from the high ground if you position yourself correctly, but they won't be able to hit you. Also, make sure you don't cut too many trees over here to make a unified path, or else they will walk this way every time you hit them, and you won't be able to keep them in place and just hit them constantly while they can't hit you. But at 53 seconds, you're going to run over here, and you'll stack the camp, and you can keep doing it. The only range creeps that will spawn here are the little satyrs, and what I do is, as long as my mana permits me to, I will blink down this cliff when I'll blink down that cliff when I've cleared the whole camp except for those ranged ones, which you can still stack with the ranged ones, so it's just about you taking damage. And then I'll clean up those 2 guys. You're only going to start with a Quelling Blade, and you're going to rush a Morbid Mask. Once you have the Morbid Mask, you can come over here and cut this tree, or cut a few to make a line right here. It's up to you, but I like to just cut this one here to use it as a choke point, and you're going to choke point jungle using the Morbid Mask as defense. Now, you're not super tanky with just the Morbid Mask. I'm sorry about that. So some people think about, I would think getting a Style Shield might be a good idea, but you don't really need it, because every minute, as soon as you clear this camp, you want to be going back down here, blinking up on the cliff, and then killing the creeps without taking any damage, and you'll actually heal yourself up this way. So that's what we're going to do, and I'm going to show you guys this in action. It's really cool, and it's way more efficient than you would think. Like, a lot of heroes can do this sort of weird choke point or cliff jungle-y shit, but this is actually really efficient. Like, this is not a Nature's Prophet cliff jungle. This is actually a decent way to jungle. And then skill build. So you're going to get level 1 blink, of course. At levels 2, and again, this is flexible, but you cannot get mana break early, because it will override your Morbid Mask and you'll be screwed. So skill build for me is 1 point in blink, 2 points in stats, and then I'll put another point in blink, and then I will put, let's see, that's 1, that's 2, 3, 4. At level 5, I will, so 1 point blink, 2 points in stats, then a 2nd point in blink, then your ultimate, always get the ultimate at the standard times, and then I usually get 1 point of Spell Shield early. Again, I don't remember this perfectly because it's more flexible than something like a Lycan build, so I always get 1 point of this Make sure that you don't get this early, and you might want to save skill points after about level 6. Between level 5 and 7, you're going to want to hold and start saving skill points so that you can get lots of points in Mana Break as soon as you get a Vlad's later. That's part of the build. But so I'm not going to go through the entire game here. This is a game that went really well for me, but I'm going to go through probably the first 20 minutes or so. This is probably going to be a longer video, but you guys will already know that because you can see the time. And again, you can do this cute little Blinksy play down here. Sometimes the creeps here will spawn, and they won't be close enough to the cliff for you to aggro them, so you need to walk up and get them a little bit pissed, and then blink up in here, and they'll follow you to the edge, and then you can do your thing. And again, I don't have this down to a science. I have this okay. I don't know all of the details of what's going on here. There's a nice guy on Reddit. I'm trying to think of what the player's name was. Oh, I think this is where I made the mistake that I was telling you about a second ago. I don't think I'm going to aggro these. Oh, no, I will. I do. And you can see they're hitting me now, but if I change my position ever so slightly, now they can't hit me. And I can just bash on them all day. And at 53 seconds, I'll stack. Yep. And they will walk around. And we're good. Unfortunately, we do have these annoying ranged satyrs. And I think if you really wanted to, you could pull them over to the edge and then hit them. But, I mean, it's not a big deal. I usually just blink down to deal with them. So now I'm going to hit them. And I am taking a decent bit of, or a little bit of damage from the satyrs, but it's not a big deal. Only thing that's really... See, I think I tried to pull them over. Yeah, I tried to pull them over and I can't. Again, this game went really well for me, but I don't have this completely fleshed out yet. But I have it fleshed out enough that a lot of guides I make and put out are things that are really cool and things that I really like, but don't do them in games. I'm probably going to do this. I've played this way 5 times today, and I'm probably going to play a game doing this as soon as I upload this video. But yeah, now that that's dead, I can go ahead and clean these guys up. I think I will stack here because, yeah, I have to stack because I'm not going to kill them in time. And, yeah, ogres. So pretty close to my morbid mask at this point. And I know this video is taking a long time and I could speed it up, but I really don't like doing that. Now I've got the morbid mask and the courier. So yeah. And I could, again, I could just go fast here, but I kind of want you guys to really see the mechanics of this. See, I'm still taking damage from the one, but, nah. It's not that big of a deal. Also, this courier will not, or the courier in general, will not aggro these creeps, so it can come over here and deliver my morbid mask so I can start healing without pissing them off. I don't think couriers ever aggro these kinds of creeps, but I'm not sure. So it's 2 minutes and 48 seconds in, and I have a Quelling Blade and a Morbid Mask. And I have a wonderful way to cliff jungle to avoid damage. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and stack this guy. Because there's just one there, and he moves relatively quickly. Get a successful stack. And again, this camp is sort of the ideal camp to be at, because you don't have wolves like a Lycan, and you don't really have minions, so as far as surface area goes, you can only hit one thing at a time. So the most defensive place possible is the best for you, so this is the best camp you're going to get. Oh, he gets a little +2 damage from the pack leader's aura. He does 10 damage, it's useless. Now he's dead. So, that's gonna fucking die. Now we're going to come over here. Yeah, this is a Smurf account, by the way. More background to this game. I don't feel like I'm playing at like my 4.5, 4.7k level that I was before. This Smurf account, I think, is somewhere between 2300 and 2700. It's not placed yet, but based on who I played with, I think it's around 2500 MMR. So, good question would be, would I do this build in on my main account against people that are pretty competent? And the answer is yes, I would absolutely use this build against competent players. Yes, you can get ganked, but people are like, well, jungle Anti-Mage, he's a fucking idiot, that will never work. Let's just let him do what he wants. Like, it's not like a Nature's Prophet or a Lycan or something where people are actually scared of you jungling. Like, so, I will speed this up a little bit now, because I feel like... Move this up to 4 times normal speed. And I'm going to go ahead and... See, I only went back over here, but it was enough to not block the stack. So they're going to go ahead and die off here. I'm going to move up and take on the other Satyr camp. Choke point jungling very efficiently. Now I'm going to have the Helm of the Iron Will brought to me. And I debated for a bit, maybe I should go back and heal up a bit. But I can just blink up here. And if I'm conservative with my mana pool, then I will have enough to use my Helm of the Dominator pretty quickly. I am going to slow this down to ×2, because something's going to change pretty quickly here. I'm going to use my Helm of the Dominator to dominate whatever big creep is here. Now, ideally, you want the Troll one, because the Troll one can summon the minions, but you're just going to dominate the biggest creep you can find here. And once you do that, you're going to use it to help you kill that camp. And see, I debated here whether or not I would take him, and I decided not to. Because I was hoping to get a Troll, but it doesn't really matter. For a while, I was really just about trying to get that Troll creep, but I think it's actually more efficient to just get any big ones you can. And you don't actually aggro the creeps when you don't actually aggro the creeps when you use the Wildwing Ripper's Tornado. So you can go over here to the small camp and channel on them, or even go over here and channel on this camp. But basically, and this is the important thing here, I'm sending this creep, I keep making another creep and sending him over to battle these guys. And this is inefficient. I should be using the Tornado here because it's slowed so much by that Frost attack. I hate this ghost creep. But the thing is, by using one of those big creeps, I can send it across and wipe out camps by itself. I think it also gives bonus health to the creep. Yeah. Dominated units have an additional 500 hit points, so they're kind of tanky. So, yeah. Now I'm going to be saving up for my Butter Fury, my Battle Fury. And I'm going to turn this up to ×4 for just a little bit, because I think you guys get the idea. I will usually, if I can see, I'm going to send the creep over and have him do the thing here. I usually, by the time I have a Helm of the Dominator, I'm usually like level 6, I want to say, maybe level 5 at least. So a lot of stuff's going on, but don't worry about it. It's not important. I'll go ahead and turn this down to ×1. A big thing I want to point out here is that I spend a lot of time looking at the Hellbear Smasher. The Hellbear is, or looking at the big creep I control, because he's more sensitive, and because I mean, the Helm of the Dominator leaves me with, like, I've got 10 armor, lifesteal, and +3 HP regen per sec, so 4.3 regen plus lifesteal. I'm pretty hard to kill, so I can just AFK and not really look at what this guy's doing as long as I shift Q him and tell him to go to different camps, and while I'm doing that I can micro a big creep to get an additional camp in. So I'm not juggling at twice the speed. Yeah, I didn't know who our heroes were, so I thought this was an enemy Storm Spirit. It's just a Morphling replicant. But, so, okay, now I have my Perseverance. It's 12 minutes. We have our Helm of the Dominator, our Perseverance, and our Quelling Blade. Yeah, so now they're clearing that camp, which I don't like. And again, one of the big differences between this account and my real one is that in the lower MMRs, people don't stack and pull as much, so I can usually use this camp for whatever I want. But even at higher MMRs, sometimes people will push the lane, or the way the lane will turn out is you won't need it. This camp won't be a big deal, so you can just kill it. When this change came out, I don't remember if I loved it or hated it. I feel like I hated it. Now I love it, though. Just looking at that kill going down. So now I'm going to go ahead and take the big guy here. And yeah, just like last time, I'm going to send him straight to the small camp to try to wipe it out by himself. Easy money. So now we're at 1330. Almost 1,000 gold, in addition to my Perseverance and Helm of the Dominator. I'm going to speed up just a little bit here. So again, you guys kind of get the idea now? It's almost like Terrorblade, except the single unit of the hero itself is much stronger. Terrorblade really relies on those illusions. And... hold on one second. You just saw me chase this Windrunner up and around. I didn't think I could kill the Windrunner, but I thought I could scare the Windrunner into running away so that she wouldn't harass me while I was jungling, so I manned up a little bit. That's what's going on there. But yeah, and again, one of the most important things about a hero like Anti-Mage that just AFK farms for most of the game, you make sure that you don't go back to base unless you absolutely have to and continue to farm. Again, Mana Void is really, really powerful because that person was ethereal, that person was, I think that was Morphling turned ethereal? Yeah, Morphling used a Ghost Scepter, and because of that, it was way more damage to both him and Pudge. I feel like I'm forgetting some tips and tricks about this, but I will mention them as I notice them or as they arise. Again, not a controlled environment because, one, I'm watching a replay and not playing the game while talking, but because of all the things going on here, just like my Terrorblade guide, it's sort of difficult to do this while talking. It's sort of difficult to play and talk at the same time when doing this build. Something else I want to point out is, when you jungle, you just use this camp. So unless you have a full-time jungler on the enemy team and you're Radiant, you can just go over to the Dire side and do this. I mean, again, I'm playing on my Smurf accounts, the MMR's around 2,500. I will do that. I will do that on this account. In fact, the next game I did, and it was fine. Nobody really noticed me. Nobody really cares about a jungling Anti-Mage because everyone thinks it's really fucking bad. Sort of like seeing a carry Earthshaker, which we happen to have. So it's kind of a wacky game, but gives a good example. Oh, and now you see I'm doing the channeling with this, paying attention there, while getting the farm done over here. Something you're really going to want to do is spend a lot of time looking at the clock, because you don't want to block creep camps by not microing your hero or your pet. This guy's getting some farm. It's not a big deal. I'll let him take the farm. So 17 minutes. Here we go. 17 minutes, and I have a Battle Fury. So you guys get the basics of it. Now it just becomes an old-fashioned Anti-Mage farm game, except the next item I'll get will be Brown Boots into Power Treads, and then I will build up Vlad's. And the reason you do that is, again, because you can't have Mana Break and the Helm of the Dominator lifesteal, and because Vlad's is an aura, Vlad's works with the Mana Break. So you need to turn this into Vlad's by disassembling it. You can sell the Helm of Iron Will. I usually hold on to it unless I need to sell it to buy the Vlad's, because you farm so fast once you have these three items plus treads that I usually just build the Vlad's and then keep the Helm of the Iron Will in my inventory until I finish my Yasha for my Manta style, and then sell it to pick up my Yasha. Because you're only going to get 400 gold back, and Helm of the Iron Will gives you, I believe, plus 3 HP regen and 5 armor. Yeah, plus 3 HP regen and 5 armor, which is... it's decent tank ability, so I hold on to it. But you disassemble this, you buy all of the ingredients for it, except for the Morbid Mask. You combine them, you have Vlad's. So by about 20... Let's see, actually, I don't remember how long it takes me. But I'll go ahead and... wow, even my computer's lagging with this. I'm gonna speculate 24, 25 minutes. I will be looking at the treads and the Vlad's. So yeah, pretty quickly. Again, I'm still... oh, sorry, I have hero chase on. Again, I'm still doing this. Oh, what? No, 1.5. I'm still microing this creep to do my dirty work for me. So you need to continually do that while you farm, until you get rid of the Helm of the Dominator, at which time you'll lose control of the creep, and the creep will just die, and then you'll be kind of screwed. You won't have a pet anymore. So by then, with the Manta, you kill creep so fast that it's better to just bounce around and clear camps and clear camps and clear camps and clear camps than to use the Helm of the Dominator to stack for you. And you also really want that mana break. So after that, you can, once you have the Vlads, the Treads, and the Battle Fury, you can actually do a good bit of fighting. But I don't really recommend it because the real power comes in once you have the Manta style, as most of you probably know. And then after the Manta style, I personally like to get a Skull Basher into an Abyssal Blade, but that's up to personal preference. And then I'll usually get a Butterfly or a Heart, but I prefer Butterfly because it's more damage. It's tank ability, but it's more damage. And then lastly, Boots of Travel is obviously a big one for this hero. There's one item I'm thinking of, and I cannot think of what item I buy on this hero. What situational item do I buy? Oh, BKB. Occasionally, and again, I'm turning this into Vlad's, but occasionally I buy a BKB if I need it on this hero, but it's not like my first choice. So I think we can stop it here because, again, this is not something I have fleshed out fully in the same way that I have fleshed out Lycan, because I just kind of build as the situation is needed with Anti-Mage, versus with Lycan I always build for ratting. And I usually transition to lane farming and bouncing between lane and jungle farming once I have all of these items, but it's 22 minutes. We have a casual Helm of the Iron Will, just a little bit of extra. We have a full Vlad's, we have Treads, we have Battle Fury, we have a Quelling Blade, and I'm going to go buy 2 TPs now. And that's 22 minutes of items of a jungling Anti-Mage. So, again, I make a lot of weird, unorthodox jungling builds, but this is one that I actually drink the Kool-Aid. I love this shit. I think you're about to see me... Yeah, I saved 4 points, so now I have max mana break. Again, a value point in spell shield's really, really, really good. But if you get a mana break early on in the game, you fuck yourself. You're screwed. You actually can't do what I'm doing. Because I did that one game. I saw the player, I can't think of this player's name, but someone posted a video of him on Reddit doing this, and I looked up the match ID and I studied that for about like half an hour, and he never got a level in mana break. So I was like, that's interesting. Why is he not doing that? And then I did it in the game, and then I almost cried. I was really embarrassed. So, thanks for watching. My name is Esports Money's, ESN, MacTan, whatever you want to call me. You can find me on Twitter at Esports Money's. You can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/MacX10. I love this. This is really, really cool and really, really viable. Go do it. See you guys.